Hi, this is Togo. This is for organizing self, about transmission of the movement through the whole body as a single unit. It addresses flexing and extending of the foot. Lie on your back. Bend a tiny little bit your knees, a tiny little bit, so that you touch the floor with your heels. A little bit, practically nothing, so that your heels stand on the floor. Straight legs, heels touching the floor, so that you can actually move your feet, flex them and extend them. Flex means bringing feet towards you, and extend means feet away from you. Using the heels on the floor, and of course, make a small little movement with both legs. That means you just push and pull the floor with your heels. If you are doing like walking, it's too fast. It remains like that for forever. Slowly do that many times, gently. Put your hand on the floor overhead. Touch the floor. If it's difficult for you to put your hands overhead, don't. If you can, put your arms comfortably overhead, above your shoulders, somewhere there. Anywhere you like, but above your head. Very slowly, flex your feet and extend them. Keep on doing it slowly. Don't rotate them, don't roll them. Flex your feet and extend them. How do you extend your feet? How do you flex them? That's all, slowly. Observe only. When do you take in an air? When do you breathe in? When you flex your feet or when you extend them? There is one way which is better, but at the moment nobody knows it. Flex and extend your feet. Flex and extend your feet. Now stop that and stay like that with knees as a little bent, and organize your arms, the chest, and breathing to be more comfortable. Now do flexion and extension only of the right foot. Only of the right foot. Don't hurry. Note when you flex your foot, where do you start the movement? You can bend your knees if necessary for flexing the foot. Slowly, the right foot only. Now slowly, do the same thing with your left foot only, and make the smallest effort that you can. Don't flex it too much. Don't extend it too much. You will find that actually in one direction you do it more or less properly. In one direction is a flexing or extending, but not both. When you do that, make sure one thing. Stop a minute. Stop and do nothing and feel how air comes out of the nostril now and comes in the chest and the body. Where is the movement for breathing? Continue to flex and extend left foot slowly. Observe your pelvis. If you flex your left foot, you are actually doing something with the left hip joint. See whether you could press your left heel to the floor gently, so as to feel that your left knee is lifted a tiny little bit, 1/10 of the inch off the floor, and the left hip joint. And now feel that pressing with the back of the left knee with the left heel on the floor, and then lifting of the left knee a little bit and the left hip joint. And then feel that movement can be transmitted through the spine to the right shoulder. You press with your left heel, left knee, and therefore lift the left hip joint and push the pelvis and the spine to the right chest, to the right shoulder, to the right hand slowly. Now see whether you could press the floor with the back of your right hand gently. Then with the back of your right elbow and with the back of your right shoulder, and of course transmit the movement, press and lift through the spine, through the left hip joint to the left heel. Then press down and lift the left heel. Press down and lift the left knee. Press and lift the left hip joint. Press and lift the spine. Press and lift the right shoulder. Press and lift the right elbow a tiny bit and press the back of the right hand on the floor. Now keep on transmitting that kind of things going like a snake from the left foot to the right hand, just like that, diagonally. Going, pressure, lifting. Pressure means you press the heel, then you press the knee, then press the hip and lift. Lift to each one after you pressed it. Press the left hip joint, then the small of the back, then the right ribs, and then the right shoulder. Press and lift the right elbow. Press and lift the right wrist. Press and lift the right fingers and nails, and keep on transmitting like a snake. You see like a rope, lifting and lowering from the left foot to the right hand through yourself as it is. Keep on doing it. And of course, don't interfere with your breathing. It doesn't matter how badly it's done, provided you are thinking. Think slowly and keep on doing it. Imagine how a worm creeps on the floor. Therefore, it does lift a little bit and makes the lifting press is going down and think in front lifts and goes down. In other words, it is creeping like a worm. Keep on creeping like that from the left foot through the left knee, through the left hip joint, through the small of the back, through the spine, through the right chest, through the right shoulder, just up and down. The right elbow up and down, the right wrist up and down, and the fingers up and down, and then return with that movement. Going through the right hand, through the left pelvis to the left foot. Keep on thinking, feeling, doing it, and make a smooth little movement as you can, until you can feel wherever you didn't feel in all training that you have done up to now. Moshe said, you never went through the whole body as a single unit, always some sort of exercise, but you remained ineffective, inefficient, and uncultivated. Now do it for once, before it's too late. Slowly, while you do that, see whether you can become long on that side, from the left foot to the right hand. See how you can become long. Because if you creep like that, you should lengthen. Don't push it. Moshe said that it's not that you are going to correct something medically. It's you that's going to become normal, healthy. Therefore, you will extend normally and contract normally without any trouble, without any difficulty. It doesn't matter how old and crippled you are or how many operations you have underwent until today. It only takes a little longer if you have been dealt with knives and things. Take another few minutes. That's all. Slowly. Now keep on doing the same things, but only through the left leg to the left hip joint to the left shoulder blade to the left arm. And while you do that, leave the head completely limp so that you can roll a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. Keep on moving the head very gently as if nothing to do with the whole thing. Keep that worm-like creeping movement from your left heel through the left hip joint to the left chest, to the left side of the spine, to the left shoulder, to the left elbow, to the left arm. Keep on doing that, slowly. Moshe asked, why do we have to do such an idiotic movement and we don't call it exercise? And what is the use of it? Why does it work? Now do the same thing with your right side only. From the right heel, the right knee, the right hip joint, the right side of the chest, the right shoulder, the right arm, the right elbow, the right wrist, whatever it is on the right. Keep on moving the head very gently, your nose right and left. It doesn't matter how slowly. Very slowly, Keep on doing it. Now, very, very slowly, keep on doing it from the right heel to the right knee, the right hip joint to the pelvis, to the spine through the left shoulder, the left side of the chest, the left elbow, the left wrist. Stop a second and see how you breathe when you don't do anything, and then keep on doing it. Now slowly move both heels, both knees, both hip joint, and the small of the back, and the chest itself, except the head keeps on turning slowly right and left. And you keep on doing that until you come to both hands, and you press with hands and go down with a worm-like movement back to your heels. Slowly make the movement. Creep through your body like a worm, like a chain or rope on the floor. If it's a long rope, you'll see there is a wave of lifting and going down. Going through the end of the rope, and the end of the rope returns back to you both. Make as little effort as you can. Stop a minute. Now do the same thing we did at the beginning. Bend your knees a tiny little bit. Flex both feet and stretch them, and observe how you feel now doing the same thing. Flex and stretch. And of course, observe now what does it do to your breathing and to the rest of your body. Now very slowly, while you do the same thing with your feet, do the same thing with your hands. What do you mean by the same thing? When you flex your feet, what do you do with your hands? Flex them or stretch them? Keep on finding out. Flex the hands, flex the feet. Flex means making it shorter. How do you flex your hands? Making a fist out of your hand. Don't make a fist, just flex them. Flex the hands and flex the feet. Flex them together slowly, simultaneously. You will find that they don't work simultaneously. One foot to one hand is lagging. It's coming too late. Do slowly. Now stretch both hands and feet. Now flex your feet and extend your hands. That means press with the back of the hands to the floor a little bit when you flex your feet. Flex your feet and stretch your hands. And the other way around. Extend your feet and flex your hands. Now do the same thing with your elbows and your knees. When the knees press the floor, the elbow press the floor. When the knees lift off the floor, the elbow lift off the floor. The other way around. When the knees press the floor, the elbow lifts off the floor. When the knees lifts off the floor, the elbows press the floor. Moshe said that it doesn't matter how much, enough to represent it in your mind's eyes. It's not important to lift because it's important not what happens in your body, but in yourself. In yourself is more. The brain is more yourself than your body. Because you could live without your hands. You could live without both arms, without both legs, without your sex. You could still be alive and still be an extraordinary human being. You could paint with your mouth. You could do all sorts of things, provided your brain is intact. It doesn't matter whether you lose your entire self. It's not your body, but it's yourself that is important. By the way, your body is also important to you. I don't have any doubt about that. Slowly press the shoulders down and lift the knees. And the other way around. Lift the shoulders and press the knees down. Now stop a minute and remain like that as you are. Lie still. Now roll your pelvis right and left. Slowly, gently. Roll your pelvis right and left. Very gently, slowly. Very small movement. Pelvis, not the leg. Pelvis. You'll find that sometimes you need legs to do it. but you can do it without legs. Pelvis can be lowered with other muscles. Upper muscle of the pelvis. Lower the pelvis right and left without using legs. Now lower the pelvis right and left using your legs. Can you see something completely different? Right and left. Again, lower your pelvis without using your legs. Leave the legs alone. Lower your pelvis right and left. Right and left. Move your head together with the pelvis. The pelvis goes to the right. You move the head to the right. The pelvis goes to the left. You move the head to the left. Keep on doing it and make it sure that the head and the pelvis go together. Make your pelvis move a little bit less awkward. Move it simpler, easier. Make a small movement but nimble, simple. Make a small movement, small as you can, so that you don't have to make a tremendous effort or look as if you are suffering. Slowly. Move your pelvis quickly, right and left. Small movement. Move your pelvis right and left. Don't use your legs. Moshe said that you do whatever you like. There is no instructions. You must find out what is the right things for you to do. That is the difference between me teaching and you learning. I gave you an opportunity to learn what you are doing, so that you know what you want. You can do what you want. You must know what you are doing. It's immaterial that I dictate. Move your pelvis without your legs. Therefore your legs remain limp-lying and you move your pelvis right and left. Now a little bit nimbler. Move your pelvis faster and the arms overhead if possible, because that will make tremendous change in the upper part of your chest. Slowly. Don't press hard. Don't try to improve. Moshe said that it will improve by your own changing the nervous system. You can learn to do just like a child doesn't have to do something in order to learn to speak. He learns to speak because the nervous system growing will learn to speak. And that we can find out how it does. It's not by achieving anything. You will not achieve anything anyway. Achievement is a hindrance because the way we achieve is considered that you must do something. If you don't achieve it, you are not good. That's not correct. Now move the pelvis and the head in the opposite direction, slowly. Make it slow and move the head and the pelvis in the opposite direction. And see whether you can move without using your legs at all. What do you do with your shoulders? Do your shoulders move with the head or with the pelvis? When you move your head to the right and the pelvis to the left, which shoulder presses the floor? Do the shoulders go with the eyes, with the head, or with the pelvis? Make it go with the head. That means when you turn the head to the left shoulder presses the floor, and the right shoulder lifts off the floor. When you turn the head to the right shoulder presses the floor, and the left shoulder lifts off the floor. Now do the other way around. That means when you turn the head to the left shoulder lifts off the floor, and the right shoulder presses the floor. When the head to the right shoulder lifts off the floor, and the left shoulder presses on the floor. Stop lifting any dumb things. Just rock your pelvis right and left without moving the head at all. Just leave the head in the middle, but simple. Now rock your pelvis faster, nimbler, simpler, familiar. Rock your pelvis. Now bend a little bit your knees. Press your left heel to the floor and rock your pelvis to the right. And then press your right heel to the floor and rock your pelvis to the left. Therefore, do it now with your legs. Lock your pelvis with your legs. Press your heels, not your knees. Stretch your legs nearly straight. Bend them if you can't do it properly, slowly. Now keep on rocking the pelvis faster, simpler, nimbler. Now watch. When you lock your pelvis to the right means you're using your left heel. What happened to your right shoulder and your right arm? Make it longer while you do that. When you lift your left hip joint and when you use your left heel, make the diagonal arm longer. Not much, but a tiny little bit. And then the other side. Make the other one longer. Now observe, of course, the pelvis and the head go in the same direction. Now keep on doing it on one side with the right hip to the left arm. Only to the left. Do that 5-6 times. Only with right heel, rolling the pelvis to the left. Make the left arm longer a tiny bit. Each time you do that, make the left arm go simpler, easier, lengthening. Keep on doing it. You can bend your right leg. You can bend your right knee. You can make it comfortable. Make it comfortable. Therefore, you keep on rolling to the left like that. And every time you do that, the left arm stretches a tiny little bit. Press the floor with your right heel and move the hip joint. Therefore, left arm will actually get longer. Moshe said that even if it's ankylosis in 2 years, it will get longer. But by how much is your responsibility. Don't try to achieve. Let it only lengthen as it wishes, as it can, as you can do. Therefore, it will improve. Now move your right hip joint, use your right leg, and make the left arm get longer. Keep on doing it. It doesn't matter how much, the amount you feel you can do easily. Are you holding breath, stiff? Moshe said, make it comfortable for yourself that you will find the most difficult things to learn. In our culture, nobody can be comfortable. Everybody eats healthy food that he doesn't like and take vitamins and all sorts of rubbish. Now do the same things to the other side. Move your left heel, twist your pelvis to the right, and let the right arm get longer. Right arm get longer with each time when you move your pelvis to the right. And observe actually how much trouble is there between the shoulders and the neck. Moshe said that you see how useful all the jogging and all the bloody things what we do, without knowing what you are doing, just achieving something, just torture and useless. 1 in million succeed in doing it. All the others just sweat the gut out and end up in the hospital with bad knees and bad hip joint. Of course, there is a way of doing it so that it isn't so, but the great majority doesn't know that way. You can see when I see them in the park jogging, most of the time I pity them. You can see that people, girls and boys are suffering hell and actually losing their health. If you don't know how to run at all or jog, first know yourself how you run, how you move. Do something with what you are doing now and you can see what's the difference when you get up, and you will see how you jog if you do that now. Now just remain still and do nothing. See, what do you feel? Have you lengthened? Is the small of your back lying on the floor? Or could a cat go underneath it? Maybe a cockroach. Then you'll find that in your life you are not having a small of the back as limp and lying on the floor as it is now. Now very slowly, put your feet together, touch the feet. Put them together, heels together, more or less. Not the soles, feet together. Now move your right leg along the floor. Bend your right knee. but touch the other leg with the heel. Slowly flex the right foot, flex the right knee. Stop it a little and lengthen your right foot and right knee. Move it downward, move it downward. Flex a little bit. Moshe said that if I tell anything and if you feel you can do it, you achieve it immediately. Therefore, you achieve it badly. You do it like you did in all your life. Therefore, you can't learn anything new. You must be able to change and have a new way of doing it. Move your right heel touching the left leg and flex the right foot and stretch it again. And make a small movement. Keep on doing. When you flex the right knee, flex the right foot. When you stretch, stretch the right foot. If you don't know what you are doing, you won't be able to do what you want. When you flex the right foot, flex the right knee. Flex the right foot and the right knee together. If you were ordered to do it, you never do it. You have to learn to do it by yourself. Keep on doing it with the right leg. Slowly flex the right foot, flex the right knee together, and stretch them together. Together means not one pulling in one direction and the other one is in another word. If it's difficult because you haven't done it through all your life and you don't know what you are doing normally. Once you know what you are doing, your leg will improve continuously. You will feel it different from the other. Flex the whole leg along with the heel, along the other leg, touching the other leg, flexing the whole leg and stretching it. Flexing, but breathe freely. You don't have to do any damn thing except flexing the leg. Achieve nothing. Learn to move your leg slowly, gently. Can you see the changes that has occurred in the shoulders and the arms? Do you feel that they don't obey you in the normal way? You have to learn to use them properly. There is a way of using them. Just do what you want. Then they are not as painful as they are now. Slowly, gently, gently, slowly. Moshe said that when you learn to use it properly, that will change your entire structure and actually your way of eating, your way of digesting without having to make a diet. Slowly flex the foot and the knee together. Then stretch the foot and the knee together. Now do it together slowly. Make it simple, slowly, gently. Now stop doing it with the right leg and do the same thing with the left leg. Gently, slowly. Slowly bend the left leg, the left knee, and the left foot. Flex them together. Bend the left knee and lift it. Go along on the floor, touching the right leg with the left foot. And stretch them together along the right leg. Everything on the floor, nothing in the air. Why do you keep the foot on the floor and not in the air? Why on the floor? Moshe said, because if you are not on the floor, you are not supported. If I sit and lift my arm in the air, and then you ask me to release the shoulder muscle so that the arm falls, and at the same time you ask me to hold it. If I hold my arm in the air, nothing is doing it. It can go down. Unless I'm dead tired or somebody kills me, then it will fall down. I cannot use my shoulder muscle for two things. Two different tasks which are contradictory cannot be done. Therefore, if I want to relax the muscle of the shoulder so that the arm can go down, there is nothing in this world that I can do except support the arm by something. If I sit and make the arm that are so straight and make it supported by the firm things, then muscle relaxes whether I want it or not. because the tendency in the world of living organisms, all of them, is not to do an idiotically unnecessary work. If I could do an idiotically unnecessary work, there would be hyperkinetic like somebody with disease. Otherwise, the person, the dog, any animal will not do work just for nothing, but there must be an inner interest. Otherwise, there is no point. If I hold my arm in the air, I can't do anything with shoulder muscles. Flex both feet and legs together. Draw them near and lift the heels off the floor. If you hold your legs in the air, how is your breathing? And put the heels back on the floor. See what is relieved from the strain. Then you will realize how important it is to go by the floor. Until you can realize that, the effort is futile. Now try again and see something. Move your feet like that in the air, and then join your fingers behind your head, and now lift your head with your hands and lift your heels. Now touch the heels on the floor now. What is relieving now? Nothing. Can you see? That means, in other words, there is no organization in that body at all. You can see what it means. It means tremendous effort. The effort are capable of destroying chest and everything. And it does actually destroy that. Then you have laminectomies. Then you have a satisfaction and pain, unable to move, and having reason for it. In other words, you will be laminectomized for the rest of your life, which in fact you will be, unless you get rid of it somehow. Now just for a minute, stretch your legs and stretch your arms overhead. Just flex your feet and extend them as you did at the beginning. Feel the difference. See where your arms are. Have you stretched your arms a little bit? How do you do it now? Better? Slowly, just flex and extend the feet. Just flex the feet, not the legs. Flex and extend the feet. Just observe whether you are flexing and extending your feet. Now, is it different from before? What are you doing to your breathing? Slowly bring your arms down toward yourself. Rock your pelvis right and left, and see how you are doing it now. And rock your pelvis quickly, nicely. Move your head in the same direction as the pelvis quickly. Quickly, not holding it, just like a gel. Use your legs, use your entire self. Rock the pelvis. Rock the pelvis. Move the head very gently right and left, not with the pelvis. Now move the head, but rock the pelvis faster. Roll the head right and left. And now do the pelvis faster than that. If you see the head is turning with the pelvis, in other words, you already have such a habit of moving the head with the pelvis together. Many people have learned to do it like that. Therefore, they have a trouble. Now very slowly bend your knees and get up. Roll to the side and get up, but very slowly. Move your head. Lift your head with your hand if necessary. Stand up slowly. Now feel. What does it feel? Are you smaller? Are you smaller than you usually are? Why did you take a deep breath? Feel nice? Can you breathe? Can you stand on your skeleton? Now move and walk around to see and look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your face. Is your face screwed up in a torture, or look a little bit happier? Thank you very much. Have a day that is cultivated.